Good morning. How is everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. We are going to do some watercolors today. I am going to finally get to paint again, as it has been a doozy of a few weeks with so many things going on. Good morning, Kinder. How are you? We are going to actually do some painting today. I'm excited because I have not been able to paint in a while because I've been so busy getting the wedding packages done that I needed to finalize. So, I am planning on getting that done today. We are going to paint and have some fun for a change. I'm sorry, I'm sharing this out to everybody that usually paints because it's been a while since I've been on to paint. So I want to make sure everybody gets the notifications that I'm on so that they can join us if they want to. So give me just a second to get these shared out. I think that's good. All right. I've missed you too, Miss Stacy. Although you have been on some of my lives for my X tool, but that's not near as much fun as our painting lives. So, all right, you guys, don't forget to grab your engagement points right here. Be sure to share the live out, tap the screen, all the things so that it gets shared out to the FYP and we can have some fun today. Let me show you guys. Thank you, Kinder Kelly. Level 12. Very good. Very good. I love it. Thank you guys so much. All right. So we are going to paint just a fun, quick, we're going to get back into the swing of things. So, I also want you guys to know that I'm going to be kind of switching up my lives a little bit because I do have a lot of product commitments that I have to do lives for. So I was considering switching to my other account for my art tutorial lives, which is it's My Creative Faith. So you guys follow that account if you don't already. And that way, if I do go live on that account, because I'm trying to do my product lives on this account, then you'll be able to access that. So it is called My Creative Faith. So you guys can check that out. It's basically a Bible journaling account, but it's also an art account. And I was considering switching my tutorials to that account. So My Creative Faith, MY. So if you don't already follow that account, please do that because that will be something. Yes, TikTok, Stacy. I've even considered doing some Tube of You lives. So that's something that I'm kind of looking into as well for tutorials. So if you guys don't follow my other TikTok account, then definitely take a gander over at that. Okay, so this is what we are going to be doing today. Let me get it up for you guys. It's going to be very simple. We're going to jump back into simple, easy. Here we are. It's going to be a little teacup with some flowers. Super simple, super easy. So if you guys have never painted before, then no worries. Today is going to be simple and easy for you guys. Let's go through some things that we've done so far. We've done a lot of our little gnomes. We've done our summer series. We've done our little popsicle, iguana. Let's see. And we've done our Flower Girl series, which are right here. These are all the ones that we just finished up before I took a little hiatus. And so we have just done a ton of different stuff. And leading up to... Hi, Rain. How are you? I have missed you too. Well, they are all uploaded, Stacy. All of the Flower Girls are uploaded to my Tube of You. If you guys need the replays on any of these, they are there in case you need them for something. All right, and all the other ones are there too as well. We have a ton more that we've done. We have done a lot this year. A ton of different series. We did all of the little beach creatures for summer. We did the fruit series, which turned out super cute. Loved all of these. So if you are looking for any of those, they are all available on a replay. Okay, so if you missed them, you can get them on the replay. And if you want to join us today to paint, it's going to be nice and simple. So let's get started. The very first thing that we are going to do is we're going to get our paper ready. I am using the Meeden paper. That is this paper right here. And I'm going to cut it for an ACEO size. So when you do this, when you get this paper, it's in a block like this. And it's sealed on the edges. So you can't just like lift up the paper because it's sealed with like this glue stuff. So at the very, very top, you can see, let me just lift this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. You can see that glue right there. So this is the area that doesn't have the glue. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your X-Acto and you're going to slip it right in there. And you are going to either drag it or push it around so that you can get the glue to separate from the other page. This is just to keep the edges safe and not to curl up and all of that when you're working, but I cut mine so, and then it just pops off. So that's how you separate that, just so you know when you get this paper in, it is done like that for a reason, and you do need a very sharp instrument to separate that. So that is what I use, is this right here. Okay, now once I do that, I'm going to cut it. I love this paper, the size of this paper, because it's perfect for the ACEO sizes, because you get 4 exact ACEOs out of this one sheet. So if you do ACEOs, you can get 1, 2, 3, and 4 out of that sheet. And you don't have any waste, which is awesome, because I don't like to have this extra paper that I have to either figure out what to do with or throw in the trash. So you get 4 out of this. So I measure them at 2.5 by 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to measure at the 2.5 inch mark right here. And I'm going to turn it sideways. And I'm going to measure at the 3.5 inch mark right here. And then I am going to take my paper cutter and I am going to cut exactly in those marks so that we have the correct sizing. I want to make sure I have that right. Let's see, right there. And I'm just going to run my cutter over this a few times to make sure that that cuts. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the 3.5 inch mark. So I'm going to put the 3.5 inch mark on the line. And I am going to cut. And I have my first 2 ACEO sizes right there. Then I am going to do the same thing here. I'm going to mark this side at 3.5 inches. And I'm going to put that mark on the line and cut. All right, so now you see that I have 4 ACEO sizes and I don't have to worry about any paper going to waste. So the 5x7 size is the one I use. It is a cold press, 100% cotton, and I absolutely love this paper. It's beautifully textured, as you can see, and it gives you nice, vibrant colors on your paints. So you can see that. It's a beautiful beautiful paper, and it absorbs really well. All right, so I'm going to put 3 of these away and use those next time, and I'm going to use this one for today. I'm going to get my wood block out and tape it down so that I'm able to move my paper around as I paint. Hi, Carry On Shopping. Thank you for the heart me. How are you? Glad you guys are here. All right, so we have this done, and thank you for the likes. Jessica, how are you? I've been watching your lives. You're doing really well. I love all of your sewing. If you guys don't follow Jessica Revels, y'all need to do that. She's a sewing connoisseur, and I love it, love it, love it. Okay, we are going to get some washi tape, and we are going to tape down our edges because we want this little border around our edges. Enlarge the painting. I cannot, it's as, well, there goes. That's as big as it'll go, but I'm going to show you a larger one in just a minute, Carry On, and you will have a chance to get a screenshot of it. Okay. Hi, Mom. Thanks for the heart me. Welcome in, welcome in. All right. So, if you guys can see kind of this border around this, that one's not a good one to look at. Let me find one that has a good border on it. This one right here. So it's just very subtle. Very, very subtle. You can see this kind of bluish background, and you have this border. That's what we're going to work on. So, yay. Thanks, Ginger. I've been gone for a while. I've been working on this big wedding package, and I just have not been able to do lives, other than the ones that I'm obligated to do for products that I've received. So there are some that, like, I have several hours, 30 hours worth of lives that I have to do for my X tool. So I've been doing those, but I have not been able to do any kind of tutorial lives because I've been working on a big wedding package, but it's done now and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm happy about that. All right. And I did say earlier that if you don't follow My Creative Faith, which is my other account, I'm probably going to start doing a lot of my art tutorial lives on that account, just because this account has gotten so bogged down with live responsibilities for products that I feel like I may have to switch over to that account to do my tutorials. So if you guys don't follow that account and you want to still do my live tutorials, be sure you do. I'm not able to do that. Carry On. I'm not sure if I can, I don't know how to pin that account. But it's called My Creative Faith, and it's a Bible art journaling kind of account. And you'll recognize my voice on the videos. And I have some face videos on there too, so you can see me. So you'll know it's my account. And I can send it to you when I get off of here. I'll do that if you want me to. I'll drop it in the DMs. All right. Okay, so we've got our tape put on here. And we are going to now start doing our background for this. Let me give you guys a screenshot of the, or the opportunity to take a screenshot of the image so that you have a larger image of this to look at. I'm going to take you off of here and I'm going to move you over here so you guys can see this. This is the image that we're going to work on today. This is obviously just an outline. Remember, you can hold your finger down on the screen and it will give you the option to clear the comments off so you can take a screenshot without all the comments and stuff being on the screen. So just tap your finger to the center of the screen on your phone and hold it, and a little menu will pop up that tells you that you can clear the screen, and that way you can get a better image of this if you're taking a screenshot. So everybody go ahead and take your screenshots. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started on our painting. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to do our background. Now, in order to do our background, you're going to need a larger brush and you're going to need some watercolor paints. So let me tell you the brushes that I'm using. I'm using this Meeden brush set right here. It is the 4 brush set. This is the 1, 3, 5, and 7 in size. And it is, they are made to be ergonomically helpful in hand fatigue, so your hand does not get as tired while you're using these. Also, they are short handled, so they're really easy to control your strokes. They have a synthetic squirrel hair tip on them, and so they hold a ton of water, which is really great for watercolors, and they hold their shapes really easy. Another thing is that the ferrule on these do not rust. They stay really nice and clean, so you don't end up with rust in your paint. I love that. That's one of my favorite features of this. Thank you so much for the rose, Jessica. And so I really, really like this set. So this is the set of brushes that I'll be using today. And then I'll also be using the golden maple detail brushes. And when I pull those out, I will show you the features of those brushes as well. But this is what we're using right now. And then I'm also using the Meeden tube paints. Now, when we do the Meeden tube paints, the thing that you see my paints in is a tin that I ordered separately. They did not come in this tin, but they come in tubes. There's 48 tubes, 48 colors, and I use them in a pan format just because I like this pan format better than the tubes. The tubes look like this. Whoops. The tubes look like this. Okay, and so you get a really large amount. You get a 0.4 fluid ounce tube of each one. But what I did was I just put them all in the pans, and then I just refill them when I need to. That way I have access to all of them at once rather than having to pull out a color as needed. I can just access all of them at once, okay? So, and the tin is also made by Meeden, and that is down in the product bag as well. And it is product number, let me find it. Oh, I don't see it anymore. I don't see it in here. Did I not put it in here today? I must not have. I must not have pinned it today in our product list. So let me see if I can find that for you. Here it is. Oh, it's sold out. That's why it's not there. Okay, that makes sense. Because I thought it was in this list. Okay, so the tin is currently sold out, but hopefully Meeden will get them back in stock. But the paints are the tube paints. They're not pan paints like this. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and do a background. So I am going to spray my paints and get them prepped for being used. So what you want to do is just take a spray bottle full of water, and you just want to prime your paints by spraying them and getting them wet. Okay, so everybody go ahead and take time to, or you can just drop a drop of water on each one as well. That'll do the same thing. But if you don't have a spray bottle, just put some water on them. It's going to soak that water in, and it's going to kind of prime them to be a little bit more brighter for you on your paper. Okay. All right. So, Stacy Lee, did you miss it when I showed the big one? Here you go. Oh, hang on. Let me get it pulled up. There we go. There you go. Okay, Stacy, go ahead and take your screenshot if you need that. Very good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and do our background. So I'm going to take my number 5 brush, and I'm going to dip it in my water, and I'm going to hang on, let me get my water clean, because this has not been used in a while, and I want to make sure it's clean water. I haven't painted since the last time I was on live with you guys, so it's just been crazy. So you want clear water. You're going to put that on your paper, all down on your paper, just like this. Okay? So you have your clear water. You're going to pick whatever background color you want. I'm going to do a pink background. I'm going to do this coral pink. And I'm going to put it on all over my page. Don't worry. It's not going to be this dark when we get done. So just whatever color you choose for your background. Then you're going to rinse your brush really well. And you're going to grab your paper towel or your art sponge or whatever you use, and you're going to dry your brush. Okay. Then you're going to go down your paper and you're going to pick up this color, every single area of your paper, turn it sideways and do the same thing. Go side, 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 all the way, drying your brush in between each one to get your background. I'm going to dry my edges. Just because. All right, and so now we have a background. Even though it looks white, it is definitely not. And so don't, it's not going to affect what our stuff looks like. Yes, Stacy Lee, it was so cute. I loved it. All right, now we're going to dry our background. So take your heat gun or just let it dry naturally, however you want. I'm impatient, so I use a heat gun to do mine. And the one that I use is in the shopping cart below. It's nice and quiet, which I like about it. But works really well. Dries my paper nice and good. All right. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we're nice and dry and it's time to start drawing. All right, I'm going to be using my NIC Pro pencil set. For those of you who are wondering what pencil I use, I like to have a mechanical pencil. It makes my line work much more consistent, and this set is really, really nice to have. So if you are looking for a good pencil set, you can look at the NIC Pro because it is really nice. They have several different options for pencil sets. The one that I use is this one. Let's see. Let me find it for you guys. Hang on. I have to find it because here it is right here. Dun, 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 dun. Right here. All right, this is the NIC Pro pencil set that I use. So it's got all of the different sizes, You get your 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, and 3 of your 2.0s. And then you get erasers and you get all of your different leads as well. So this is the one that I use. I love this set. I also have the other NIC Pro set, but it's not available anymore. So I got this one just because I wanted to have one that you guys could purchase, because I don't have, the other one is no longer available. And I love them both equally the same. They're both the same company, just a few little different features in that one. And we're going to start drawing out our image. So I want you guys to, and we're just going to sketch it very lightly. So just follow along with me. Remember, everything is a shape. Okay. So you don't have to think of things in drawing the whole image. Just think of each part of the image as a shape, and that will be very helpful. Okay. So for instance, when you do the cup, okay, you're going to notice that this is an oval right here, and this is the bottom of an oval. This right here is like the side of a heart. It's like one side of the heart of a heart. So you have to look at it in shapes. And if you do that, it makes it much easier to draw. So as we draw this, we can think about the shapes that we're making, and it'll make things a lot easier. Okay? All right. So I'm going to move you guys over to the side so my hand doesn't get in the way as we draw, so you can see what I'm doing. So you guys give me some comments and make sure that you are ready. So give me a thumbs up in the comments if you're ready to start drawing the image and you've gotten your background done and your paper taped down and all that stuff. So thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up will be helpful, or ready, the word ready in the comments will be helpful as well. Let me know. I'm going to start drawing it as soon as I know that we've got everybody ready. Okay, Kinder is ready. Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's get started. We're going to start with the oval at the top of the cup. That's going to make things the easiest. Let me just move this a little bit more. It's kind of in the way of my hand and I can't reach it well. So give me just 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an oval right at the top of the cup. We're going to do a thin oval shape, just like that. Okay. A thin oval shape. And then from the side of that, we are going to do our round little U. And I'm going to go here as well. I'm going to bring it down. It's going to be like the letter U. And we're going to connect those two. Okay. That's how we get our cup shape. Now, underneath it, I want you to think about doing a diagonal line here and a diagonal line here, and then connecting those lines for the base of the cup, just like that. Okay. Oh, I didn't put on any music for us today. I'm going to do that right now. Ginger, I love yours. I'm so ready. I love it. I love it. Julie, thank you. All right. I appreciate that feedback. You guys have to give me feedback as I'm going because I don't always know if I'm going too fast or too slow. And I want to make sure that I'm going at a rate that, you know, is going to be good for you guys. I don't want to go too slow and bore you to death. But also, I want to make sure that I'm going slow enough that you know that you're able to, you know, follow along. Okay? All right. Now, let me see. Hang on, guys. Wrong playlist. There we go. Okay. All right, so next we're going to do the handle. Now, I want you to think about doing the handle as if you're doing a heart, okay? So you're going to take your handle and you're going to do the inside first. You're going to do like a small heart for the inside, okay? And then you're going to do that same thing on the outside, but at the end, you're going to do like a little circle. You're going to connect a little circle to it, okay? So you're going to go around like a heart. And then right here at the handle, you're going to just do like a little circle. It kind of is going to end up looking like an ear when you're done. Okay, so that's your cup. And I want you to think about the dirt that you're going to have in your cup and kind of do like a little, like just squiggly, like haphazard line across. So you kind of have a guide for your dirt, of where your dirt's going to be for your flowers. Okay. Now we're going to do a heart in the middle of our cup. So that we have our little heart there. And then we are going to do our florals. Now, all I'm going to do for the flowers, because I'm going to teach you guys how to do flowers really super easy. They're not going to be these flowers that you see here. They're going to be really simple flowers. And so I'm not even going to draw those. All I want is to kind of know where the stem's going to be. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to kind of have one coming out here. And I'm going to kind of have one coming out over here like this. I'm doing that very light. That's just going to give us a guide. That's it. We don't even have to draw the flowers, okay? Because we're going to do that a little bit differently than... You know what, though, actually... I'm trying to decide how I want to do the flowers. Because there are two different ways we can do them. I'm going to do... I'll show you guys how to do them. Easy. I'm going to make it simple. All right, so there we are. That is our base drawing. All right, everybody tell me where you're at. Give me a thumbs up or ready in the comments to let me know you're ready to move on. And we will start moving on to putting color on to our paper. All right. We're going to be using, again, the Meeden tube paints. Okay. So these are the watercolor paints. I have the 48 color set, and that is what we'll be using. All right, Kinder's ready. So good, good, good. All right, so we're going to move on to putting color. And in order to do that, there are going to be two separate brushes that I'm going to use. I'm going to be using the Golden Maple detail brush set, and I'll be using the 18. And I'm going to use the Meeden #1. Okay. So that is, let's see, the Golden Maple set, I think, is out of stock again. It is always out of stock, it seems like. Let me just double check, though. Let's see if I can find the Golden Maple. Okay. Yeah, it's out of stock right now. But actually, all of their brushes, all of their detail brushes are unavailable. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I love the Golden Maple set. I think you can probably get it off of Live, but I can't pin it on the Live. They're not allowing me to do that. But it comes with a case, and it has 20 different brushes in it, and they're all detail brushes. So if you are into doing detail work with your brushes, then you'll love the Golden Maple set. And you can grab them probably out of my showcase, just in case you start looking for them. I'm going to also probably use the 12 also out of that set. So, and then of course the Meeden brush sets are the #5 down in the bag, in case you're wondering. Okay. All right. So those are the brushes I'm going to be using. Let's go ahead and also these Golden Maple brushes, they also don't rust, and they are very short as well. I like short brushes because you can control your strokes so much better. So, all right. So let's take our #1, pick the color that you want to put on your cup. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use the same colors I'm using. So just pick a color that you love, and that is what you should go with. I'm just going to go with the light blue because that's what's in the image. So I'm going to use that color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of add, we're going to say that our light source is coming from the right side, which means that everything on this side is going to be lighter than everything on the left side, okay? So we're going to go ahead and add our dark color, the darkest part of our color on this left side. And add our dark color, the darkest part of our color on this left side. Now once you get on there, you're going to rinse your brush. And you're going to take that wet brush and you're going to kind of put that water down and drag that color, across. Go around your little heart, but drag it a little bit of a shadow on that left side. And then you have your blue, your light blue. On the rest of your cup. And then once you get it fully filled, you can decide, like, I want more color. So I'm going to get some more of that blue, and I'm going to add in, I'm going to bring that dark over a little bit more, so that I have that color. And then I'm going to just blend that across. So it blends really well. I can add in more if I need to. Just keep blending your color until you get the saturation you want. So I want mine to be blue, but I don't want it to be super, super blue. But I do want this corner over here to have that shadow. Okay, just like that. All right. Dick, thank you so much for the share. Thanks for sharing out the live. And then let's go ahead and take that same blue and go up around the back side. Just know that you're going to have a little bit of you're going to have a darker edge right here on this inside. And then you're going to have to rinse your brush and just drag that color across so you have that lighter edge. Going all the way around your cup. Because remember, that inside is going to have that dirt there. Okay. All right, so far that's where we're at. Hey, Rhonda, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. Yep, I know. It's been a while. It's been a while. And I was telling everybody else, I'm probably going to be doing my art tutorials on my other account starting pretty soon, because I've gotten kind of bogged down with a lot of lives that I'm having to do for brand agreements for different products. So I'm having to do a lot of product lives. So normally the only time you would see me live on here would be when I was doing tutorials, but now I'm having to do these brand products. So my other account is My Creative Faith, and that is an account that I will probably be doing some live tutorials on. If you're not a follower of that account, go ahead and make sure that you do, so that you can catch me doing them there. So just in case I have to switch over. Currently, I'm not planning on doing it right now, but there is a point where I may have to switch over. So, all right, let's go ahead and add our dirt in. No, it's on here. It's on my TikTok shop. Or it's on TikTok, yeah. It's My Creative Faith is the account. And it's like a Bible art journaling account. So I'm going to put some brown in this dirt. So I might have to, depending on, it just depends. But I want you guys to have that, to have access to that account, just in case I have to do some on that account too. Because there are some days that I don't have time to do all of my lives on here and then do my tutorial lives on here as well. So just in case. So go ahead and add that dirt in, and you want to make sure that you have a darker brown again in this left hand corner. So drop in your darker color there. And drag that through. Just like that. Okay. Very good. All right. So let's go ahead, make sure everything's dry before we move on. That was kind of wet. I got a little bit of a bleed. I forgot to tell you guys to dry it. Sorry about that. Make sure everything's dry before we move on. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the handle. Now on the handle, you're going to have a little bit of a shadow as well. So you're going to take your blue and you're going to do, actually I'm going to use my detail brush for this. So let's go ahead and take our small little detail brush and let's put some clear water in the handle so that we can drag that color easily, because we want that shadowing to be right where the handle contacts the cup. So we're going to take some of the darker, that dark pigment, we're going to drop it in right at the handle and right here at the handle. And also we want to give it just a little bit of an outline right here, right around where that shadowing would be, where that handle kind of covers it. Okay, rinse your brush, drag that just a little slightly on the inside of the cup. Add water if you need to, just a little slightly on the inside of the cup. Add water if you need to on the handle. Just like that. Okay. All right, so now we have that shadow on this right side where the handle will be shadowing it. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, now let's do our florals. All right. So go ahead and pick whatever green you want your image or your stems to be. Okay, I'm just using this like olive green color, but you can pick any green that you want. And we're gonna draw our stems. I like to drag my stems down. It's just easier than going up for me, but you can do it however you want. Make sure you have enough water on your brush that it will drag down easily. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to make these leaves. I'm going to show you on a separate piece of paper with a larger brush because I want you to be able to see how it's done before we do it on a smaller scale. So let me get some paper here so you guys can see, so I can show you guys how to do that. All right. So I'm just going to use the I'm gonna use the number 1. Okay, so I'm gonna use this number 1 brush from Meeden to show you, but we're gonna do that with a smaller like detail brush. So I want you guys to be able to see how to do this. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. So when we do our leaves, what's gonna happen is you're gonna take your color, you're gonna get your brush loaded up with color, and you're going to start with the tip of the brush like this, okay? And you're gonna press down and you're gonna drag up. And as you drag up, you're gonna lift. So you can kind of bring out the tip of that leaf, all right? So you get a darker pigment at the bottom and it lightens and thins at the top, all right? So let's do that one more time with this larger brush so you guys can see how we do it. We're gonna load our brush up with paint, okay? We're gonna start with the tip of our brush and you're gonna go here and you're gonna press down. You're gonna drag and lift your brush and kind of curve over that tip, just like that. Okay, so that's how we're gonna make our leaves. All right. Does anybody need me to do that again, or are y'all ready to start on the actual image itself and do those leaves? I just want to make sure everybody understands how to do it with on a larger scale first. I'm going to be using my Golden Maple detail brush, and it's going to be the number 1, so it's a little bit larger tip. And let me see. I say that. No, I'm lying to you guys. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. This is the number 2 round. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my brush up. We're going to do exactly what we just did. We're just doing it with a different brush now because I don't want my leaves to be quite that big. Okay. So I'm going to start with my tip and I'm going to press and drag and curve. Okay. So I'm going to start with my tip and I'm going to press and drag and curve. And curve to that side. Okay. Press and lift. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just bring this stem together. Okay, just like that. So now I have those leaves. You can even do one here at the base, a little bit smaller if you want. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go press and curve. I'm going to press and curve. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other stem. Sharing Tiny Joys, thank you for the follow. Dick, thank you for sharing the live out. I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm just going through comments to make sure I didn't miss anything. Jade, thank you so much for the follow. How are we doing so far? You guys give me some feedback. Are you getting these leaves? Do you understand the process now? I know that they all seem solid right now, but because they're still wet, we can rinse our brush, we can dry it off, and now we can take up some of this paint off the tip, and we can leave some of that color on the base. If it's dried, go ahead and wet it, then dry your brush and press and pick up some color, and you're going to get that highlighted tip of your leaves like we showed when we did it with the larger brush. So you'll get the darker parts. See how I did that? Okay, A-okay, I love it. Thank you. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. Go ahead, load your brush up again. Let's do that last stem. We're going to press and lift. And press and lift. I'm going to do one right here at the base as well. On this one, press and here. Okay. All right, so there's our stems for our flowers. Now, again, I'm going to show you guys off this image of several ways you can create flowers. I'm going to show you both ways so that you guys can decide. Or I'm going to probably more than both. There's several ways you can do it. All right, so there's a couple different ways. We can do our flowers like this. Just like we did the leaves, we can press and lift, press and lift, press and lift, and we get our flowers like this. And if we do the smaller petals on the inside of the flower or on the base of the flower, and then we go big on the outside, it kind of gives a look of that the flower's like up looking at us like this. Or you can do them all the same size and then it's just like a flat flower. You can do it however you want, depending. You can put shorter ones on this side and longer ones on this side, and it makes it look like it's tilting out away from you. So that's one way to do it. You can also do like this, and this is one of my favorite ways to do flowers. You give yourself, hang on, let me get enough water on my brush. You give yourself some dots in a square like this of color. You rinse your brush so you have just clear water on your brush, and you, oops, got a fuzz on my brush. And you press into the color and you just kind of drag it. And you don't even really have to make a shape of the petal. You can just wiggle. It's like a jiggly. And then you can add little whimsies to your petals. You can let them kind of blend together. And then in the center, you would put your color. So if I was going to do yellow, while it's still wet, you add the center and that color kind of bleeds up into your flower. So you end up with these kind of whimsy little flowers like that. So that's another way that you can do flowers. Okay. All right, and then the last way, which is the flowers that are actually in the image, are going to be just your regular petal-shaped flowers. So you would take your paint and you're going to just basically draw your petals just like that all the way around in your flower. Okay. And then you would color them in just like you would do in a coloring book. And then we would use a darker pigment on the very insides of them to kind of let that bleed up into the flower while it's still wet. Whoops. Sorry, I got a little bit too much water in there. Have to pick it up. So you have that, you know, darker center. And then once it's dry, we would go in with a gel pen and do the center of the flower. Okay? So those are 3 different ways that you can do your flowers. So you can decide, it doesn't matter to me which one you decide you want to do. Okay? I personally like I like the look of these flowers, but I don't know with this design. I mean, I guess those will look okay. We'll do that. We're going to do the easy way. Okay? So these are this is a super easy way to do your florals. All right, let me get this tape down because it's not wanting to cooperate. I don't like using painter's tape on my edges because it doesn't give me a clean edge. But also sometimes when I put heat on my washi tape, it doesn't stick good. So I'll go on the outside and just go ahead and stick that down with the painter's tape. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do it the easy way with the 4 dots. Let me just get you guys situated here. Sorry, I want to make sure my hand isn't in the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, are we ready to start our flowers? Let's go ahead, pick your color. I'm going to start with the pink, which is going to be the top flower. And I'm going to get water, and I'm going to get the pink, and I'm going to give myself, I don't want too much water on here. So I'm going to kind of let the paper towel absorb some of that water. So I have pigment mostly, but enough water that it's going to make a drop. Okay. And I'm going to do 4 dots of color that are fairly wet dots. They're not going to be, you don't want them to dry. Now I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to take clear water. So I'm going to have some water on my brush, and I'm going to just kind of touch and wiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Okay. And touch and wiggle out. And touch and wiggle. There's not really a rhyme or reason to the wiggle. Okay. It's a technical term called wiggle jiggle. And once I do that, I'm going to just kind of choose where I want to have my extra little petals come up from my stem, from my flower, to kind of make that look more natural. Okay, so there's our first flower. Now what I'm going to do is, while it's still wet, I'm going to take my yellow center, and I'm going to drop that in the center, and I'm going to let that bleed into the petals slightly. Okay. Ooh, and when I say slightly, I mean slightly, not overpower it. Sometimes that happens, so. Okay. So there is our first one. So y'all give me some feedback on that. Was it easy or hard? And what questions do you have? So I want to make sure that I'm covering those. So while I'm waiting for any questions or feedback on that, let's go ahead and fill in our heart. I'm going to do it with this light pink color. I'm going to fill in our heart with the pink. I'm going to do the dark side on this left side. I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to drag that lighter pink, or that pink color, over to where it's lighter on the right side. So remember, our light source is coming from the right. Okay, so we end up with that kind of faded ombre across. Okay. Oh, good, 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 good. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rain, you can try it. All right, let's go ahead and try the next one. Let's do yellow. So I'm going to use like a yellowish orange color. And again, I'm going to do my 4 little dots in a shape of a square. Just like that. And I'm going to take clear water. And I'm just going to touch and wiggle. And touch and wiggle to make my petals. Touch and wiggle. Touch and wiggle. Wiggle, jiggle, just like that. And then you can add any kind of extra little petals you want to add to make it feel more like a flower. Now I'm going to use this darker orange for the center. I'm going to drop that in, and I'm going to let that bleed where it wants to. Because remember, watercolors, they'll do the work for you if you let them. They know what to do when water touches them. And so if you let them do it, they will blend nicely. Okay, so there's that one. And then let's do the other side. We're going to do the purple now. So we're going to grab water. Again, we are going to do our 4 dots in a square. Like that. And we are going to rinse our brush, take clear water, touch, and wiggle. Touch and wiggle. Touch and wiggle. And you can put your dots closer together if you want your petals to be closer together in your flower. Just know that. And then just add your extra little whimsies wherever you want them to go. And then let's add our center. We're going to use this yellow. And remember, purple and yellow are going to make mud. So you want to be very careful. Hi, Scorpion Cigar Box Guitars. How are you? Welcome in. Just remember, when it blends, you don't want to mess with it. Okay? Drop it and let it go. If you try to mess with it, you're going to end up with mud. Okay? Because you have a warm and a cold color together. That's going to make mud. All right? So there are your florals for that. Let's go ahead now and do our base of our cup. Okay, I'm going to give it a little darker blue color because remember, it's going to be kind of shadowed in there. I'm going to dry this first. I don't want to accidentally smear my flowers. That's awesome. Hey, I am grateful for every day the Lord gives me to wake up and have a day. So I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was thank Him for my heart beating and my lungs breathing. So that's good. All right, so now we are going to add just a slight bit of blue on the left side or whatever color you used for your cup. Doesn't have to be blue. And then rinse your brush so you have clean water and just drag that across. Okay, add any kind, just blend it wherever you need to get those harsh lines to go away. Okay, but harsh lines are okay some in watercolor. It makes it look a lot prettier. Angel, thank you so much for the follow. Yep, that's right. You get to see another day. I love it. That's the attitude to have for sure. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put some detail work in on our stuff. So put your brushes down and you're going to pull out a black, either a micron or grabby multiliner or a some sort of a black waterproof fade resistant pen, okay? If you don't have that, you can use your detail brush and use black watercolor paint, but you're going to want to be careful not to smear it once you've put it down. With the waterproof pens, you don't have to worry about that because they will not smear with water being added to them. So if you accidentally have to put more water down over the top of them, you're not going to have to worry about smearing. So these are the ones I use. They're the Gravity Multi-Liners. I'm using the 005 right now, okay? And all I'm going to do is just give myself a little bit of detail. I don't want it to be overpowering, and it doesn't have to be exact, okay? You're just giving it, you're kind of just a little bit of an outline. And you want it to be whimsical. You don't want it to be exact or solid. You can put some little movement in there by adding in these lines. I'm going to put some hatching right here in the corner slightly. Just like that. And then we're going to go right across here. Just like that. Okay. And then we are going to go across the back side. And we're going to give our dirt a little bit of that texture as well. Kind of haphazard little squigglies, for lack of a better term. Okay, so there is that. Now we're gonna want to do a shadow on our cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually, let's go ahead and pull out a gel pen and do some dots on it too while I'm thinking about it. Let me see where my white gel pen is. Okay, I'm using the about it. Let me see where my white gel pen is. Okay, I'm using the, it's like a pinkish white. And we're going to use that to do our dots. So we're going to go and we're just going to give our cup some dots. Not a ton. Just a few. Any gel pen, acrylic gel pen will work. These are the Lango gel pens. They have a 0.7 millimeter tip, and they are absolutely amazing. I love them so very much because they are it's not the regular gel that you get in normal gel pens. It's the upgraded ink, so it's designed for layering, and they have a really good layering quality about them, but they also have a teeny tiny little tip on them, so you can do detail work with them super, super easy. And I absolutely love this set. You can get them up to 144 colors. I have the 90 color set, and I love it so much. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump my camera. But you can see that tip, and they're retractable, so you don't have to keep up with a lid, which is really nice. Okay, so this is, and again, I have the 90 color set, and they have really nice colors to them. I don't know. Let me just see if I can show you guys the colors of these. They're super nice. Just a second, I'll show you. just so you guys can see them. But this is the pinks and the neutrals, and then you've got your grays, your purples, your blues, and then you also have even some neons in this set as well. The neons are really nice. I love them. So those are all, and it, like I said, I have the 90 count set, but they come in different counts. All right. Okay. And they layer really well over watercolor, which is what I love about them. And you can do detail work because they're itty bitty. So, okay. Now let's go ahead and add in our hearts where we want them to be, to kind of fill in some of this background before we do our splattering, and we'll do our shadows too. All right, so let's do our shadowing underneath the cup first. So go ahead and grab some clear water and just add that clear water in underneath the cup in some spaces. Doesn't have to be a specific shape or anything, just kind of under it. And just make sure that your paper is nice and wet. Dip into whatever color you want to do. I'm going to use this gray, but I'm also going to use a, I'm going to blend it. So I'm going to take that gray, take that gray, and I'm going to get just a little bit of this purple, and I'm going to mix it with it so that we have kind of a purplish gray. Okay. And I am going to just drop that in and let it kind of spread. So right up underneath the cup. And then I'm going to rinse my brush and dry it off. And I'm going to kind of just let that spread throughout that shape that I just created with the clear water. If it doesn't spread, just keep pushing until you get it where you want it. Just push that color. If you want to add a little bit more color to it, you can. Just be sparingly. But remember, if you get too much, you can always pick it up by drying your brush off and then just going across there. Okay, so now I have that whole shape kind of done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a darker right up underneath the cup. I'm going to add in a little bit more of that pigment right across the bottom here. Okay. And just like that. And we're going to let that dry, or we're going to dry it. Love it. All right, so there's our shadow. If you don't like it, you can always add to it or take away. I'm going to just kind of bring this out just a little bit right there. It looks a little strange. There we go. It looks better. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do some hearts. So I'm going to dip into whatever color I want to do my hearts. I'm going to use the same pink heart that I used in the center of the cup. Oh, we forgot to detail that. Let me get around that heart real quick. Let's just... Sorry, I missed this earlier. I'm just going to put that right there, just like that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do a pink heart up here at the top of the page, right here. And I'm going to rinse my brush, just use clear water to drag that color over so it's not perfectly pink. It's going to have shading and shadows. Okay. And I'm going to do another one over here, up here. Rinse my brush and just kind of drag that color where I want it to go. These hearts don't have to be perfect. The idea behind them is for them to just kind of be fillers and also to be whimsical. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to do one more right down here. Okay, and we are going to fill that in. All right, so we have our little hearts, we have our florals, we have our cup done, we have our shadow down there, and now if we wanted to, we could shadow in with colored pencil. I don't think we need to shadow with colored pencil. I think it looks beautiful the way it is. I'm going to leave mine. But if you wanted to do some shading like we did on the ice cream here with colored pencil and kind of darkened up some of those shadows and on this bow, you can do that. Marilyn, thank you so much for the follow. You can do that. However, I am not going to. And the reason I'm not is because the way that we did these flowers, it's hard to shade. So if we shade the cup and we don't shade the flowers with colored pencil, it's going to make the design look kind of off, which is why I went ahead and put in the shadowing as much as possible with the watercolor. And I didn't have to worry about trying to bring together colored pencil versus the watercolor on the flowers. So that's the reason that I'm not going to do that. You could, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kind of make it look cohesive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, Ginger, thank you so much for that purchase. I appreciate that. Oh, you got the Lango pins? You're going to love those. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love, love, love it. Okay. So, and you got the mechanical pencil set. You're going to love that too. Man, you got those for good prices. Good job. Did you get the one with the kneaded eraser in it? My set doesn't have the kneaded eraser, my new set of pencils, and I wish that it did. But I have my old kneaded eraser that I use, but it's kind of starting to get worn out, so I was kind of hoping to get a new one, and I didn't necessarily think that through when I bought the pencil set. I should have got the one with the kneaded eraser. Okay, Rachel, Gigi, Ray, thank you so much for sharing the live out. I appreciate that. Okay, so there we have it, guys. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to do our splatter, and then we're going to be done. Now, I'm going to cover the cup in this one because I don't want to mess up my cup. I want to keep the cup kind of covered. Let me see. Okay, so we're going to cover that, but I'm not going to worry about the rest. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm just going to do small ones. Oh, I love that, Rachel. I bet she's very talented. Catitude. Product number 4 is the Meeden paints. And that is what we use today, these Meeden tube paints. I put mine in a pan format, but they are tube paints. They come in a tube form. There's 48 colors. They're environmentally friendly, and they're safe for kids, which I love because my grandkids paint with my paints all the time. So this is what they come in. They come in a 0.4 fluid ounce tube. And what I did was took all 48 colors and put them into this tin. And I use them out of the tin, and then I just refill it when I need to. So that's how I use these. But you can also use these in a Stay Wet palette, or you can use them just directly onto a regular palette as well. So if you have any specific questions, let me know. But those are the paints that we used for this today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dip into my pink first. That's going to be the first splatter that I do. I'm going to take one of my other brushes, and I'm just simply going to tap and allow that to kind of splatter where it goes. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the purple color and tap I'm not going to do as much purple because it almost looks black when you splatter that dark purple like that. And then I'm going to do the yellow. Okay, so I'm going to use that same yellow that I used for the flower. And I am going to tap and splatter that yellow. Okay. And there we have it. You are so welcome, Catitude. If you have any questions, let me know if I didn't answer them for you. Kimmy R., thank you so much for the purchase. I appreciate that so much. You're going to love these paints. They're really, really vibrant. And I love that they're safe for my grandkids to use too. That makes me really happy because my grandson loves to come in and watercolor paint. And I don't ever have to worry about him using my paints because I know they're safe for him to use. So, all right. So let's dry this. Let me get this off of here. And let's dry it. And then we'll peel the tape and I'll show you that background that we did at the beginning. Because you can't tell right now, it looks like a white sheet of paper. But when we peel the tape, you're going to be able to see that coral background that we created at the very beginning. And it'll create kind of that frame on the image, which is going to be, you know, super awesome. Okay. And again, we didn't do any colored pencil shading today. That's rare for me. I usually do colored pencil shading, but because we chose to do the flowers the way that we did, I didn't feel like it would be cohesive enough to do that. So I didn't do it. But, all right. So here, see that? Oh, look at that coral background, you guys. Do you see what I'm talking about? You couldn't tell? Hey, Jody, how are you? Could I show the original? Yes, I will. I'll show it right now. Let me get it pulled up for you. Remember, you can press your finger down on the screen if you want to screenshot it without the comments. There is that was what we started with. Okay, in case you want to get a screenshot of it. It was just our guide. Remember, nothing ever looks the way that our inspiration photo is. We just use it as a guide. Okay, and I didn't even do like the eyes or anything on the cup because I didn't want to make it like that. I wanted it to be more realistic than like, I don't know what those are called. I can't remember what that's called. Anime, I think. I didn't want to do the anime today, so. Oh, thank you, Jody. You're sweet. Okay, so what I want to show you guys, though, is you could even stitch on this heart if you wanted to. You could use like an 003, and you could do stitching around the heart to make it look like it was stitched on the cup if you wanted to. That would be really cute. And so there's a lot of different things that you could do with it. But you can see we put the coral on at the very beginning. So when we were painting, you couldn't tell. It looked white. But now that we're peeling the tape, you can see that it has a frame around it. So it's kind of like a framed piece of art when you're done. So that's why we do, at the very beginning, we do that background with the heavy like color and then we wipe it off. That's what causes that little frame. So that is today's tutorial. What do you guys think? Did y'all have fun? It has been so long. It's been 3 weeks since I've been able to come on and do a live tutorial with you guys. So I am so thankful that I was able to get on today. I can't promise I'm going to be every day consistent right now, just because I've got a lot of live hours that are required from some brands that have sent me some products. So I'm having to do, like this afternoon, I'm going to be on doing an X Tool live showing you guys that laser. So thank you, Katie. So I've been, you are so welcome, Kimmy. You are so welcome. I've been kind of like stuck. Thanks, Marilyn. Love it. I'm so happy you're back. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Ginger. So I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. But thank you, Katie. But I will tell you that also my daughter has a wedding that she is doing in Italy. And so she's going to be in Italy for 9 days photographing a wedding because she's a wedding photographer. And so I'm going to have my grandkids for 9 days straight, which I'm super excited about. but also it's probably going to cut into some of my live time because I can only do lives when my husband is here to help me keep the kids kind of under wraps while I'm doing lives. So I'm going to try to go live over the next, couple weeks, but it'll be sporadic and I can't really give you a schedule, if that makes sense. But I will pop on and I will be sure and share it out like I always do. Katie, thank you so much for the follow. Julie, you are so welcome. I hope you guys had fun. I'll be on later this afternoon talking about the X-Tool laser that I have. It's the M2 X-Tool laser, and I'm super excited about it. It's a great product. Feel free to pop in and say hello. Don't feel obligated to stay for that live. It is just a product live where I'll be introducing all the features of the product, but it won't be a tutorial or anything, although we will do some projects on it. But feel free to pop in and say hello, and I hope that you guys had a blast today. You guys, if you made a purchase or you're planning on making a purchase, go ahead and close out your carts as quickly as you can before I pop off of here, so you get the best price possible. And I'm so glad to be back, and I promise I'm going to be very, very work very hard to be on here at least 2 to 3 days a week doing tutorials right now, and then when things slow down, I'll be back to my 5 days a week. And again, if you don't follow my backup account, which is my Creative Faith, it's called My Creative Faith. And that is my other TikTok account. So feel free to follow that in case I do have to do some tutorials on that account as opposed to this account, depending on what my schedule looks like. So just know that if I pop in on that account live, I want you to be able to grab, to join me in the tutorial for that. So that is my other account. All right. Hey, loafing around. How's it going? All right, so I will be back on this afternoon later talking about the X-Tool M2 laser, and we'll be doing some projects with that. But thank you guys so much for everybody that made purchases today. I'm so grateful for every little purchase. I do a happy dance. It is how I support my family, and so I'm so thankful every time you guys support my showcase. Also, if you want to join me for another tutorial, I'm going to do my best to come on again tomorrow morning for another tutorial. And then it'll probably be Thursday or Friday before I'm back on for another tutorial. But I definitely am going to do my best to come on tomorrow and do another one. So join me tomorrow morning for another watercolor tutorial. I had so much fun with you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you had as much fun as I did. And again, thank you everyone who purchased, because it is always, I'm always incredibly grateful when you support small creators like myself. Cynthia, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So if you guys have any questions before I hop off of here about any of the products that we use today, let me just tell you really quickly. We use the Meeden tube paints, which I use them in a pan form, but you get them in a tube form like this. So this is what they look like when you get them. You get 48 of them. They're environmentally friendly. They're safe for kids. You get a 0.4 fluid ounce tube, which is a very large tube compared to some of the other watercolors that you will get. They're very highly pigmented. They're smooth and buttery, and I love, love, love these watercolors. So I just simply like to put mine in a pan, and I use them out of the pan, and then when I need to refill it, I just refill it from the tube. That way I don't have to pull the tubes each time when I want to sit down and paint. So I love that. We also use the Meeden brushes, which are right here. We use the 1, 3, 5, and 7 brush. And they do make a 9 brush set. However, I have the 4 brush set, and it has been perfect for me. These brushes are on a flash sale right now. So if you are looking to grab them up at a really decent price, now is the time to do that, because the flash sale is going to end in less than 24 hours. It says 14, there's 14 hours left on the flash sale. These brushes are very ergonomically, friendly for your hands, so they do help to reduce hand fatigue. They do not rust. The ferrule is very, very nice and tight, so you don't have shedding. And look at that tip. They're very pointy. You can do even small detail work with these brushes because they do hold their tip really well, and they hold a ton of water too. They're short, so you can control your strokes really easy. Love that. So these are a really nice professional brush set that will level up your art, but they're not at a professional price. They're a decent quality brush for a good quality price. And that is what I love about all of the Meeden products, is they are all like that. You get good quality for a good price, a reasonable price. Okay, so those are the brushes we used. We used the Grabby Multi-Liner waterproof pens, which are my favorite pens to use for detail work. I very much love that. You get 10 different sizes in the black, and then you get the 0.05 size, or the 0.05 size in all of the colors as well. So you get a combo pack, or you can get them individually. I love these, and they're waterproof, so that's really, really great. The other thing that we used was the Meeden paper. Meeden paper is right here. Oh, nope, wrong one. Sorry, guys. The Meeden paper. And what I love about this Meeden paper is that it is very highly textured. So you get a good texture on your art. Is that it is very highly textured. So you get a good texture on your art really nicely. They absorb really well. It is the cold press 100% cotton. And I use the 5x7 size because you can get 4 ACEO sizes out of one sheet, and you don't get any waste. So you don't have to throw anything away. I hate having a little bit of extra paper left over that has to go in the trash. It just irks me to have to throw any kind of scraps away. And so I love the 5x7 for the reason that I can get my ACEO sizes equally out of it, 2.5 by 3.5, and I get 4 of them with no waste. So that is the paper that we use. Plus it's really bright and vibrant. You can see how beautiful these colors turn out. Super bright, super vibrant. I love it so much. All right, so so that's the paper that we used. And then the last thing we used were the Lango gel pens that are these right here. And the Lango gel pens I got the 90 color set. So let me just pull you guys over here so you can see them. These are the colors in the 90 set. You get all of these and all of these. Look at how amazing all these colors are. So, and the great thing about these is they have a 0.7 millimeter tip, so they're teeny tiny, and they're not the regular gel ink. They are the upgraded ink that allows you to layer, but they're also really juicy and buttery, so they don't skip or railroad or anything like that. So love this pen set. And it layers over watercolor so easily. I love it for doing all the extra. Okay. All right, so that's everything that we used today. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I am about to hop off of here and go make me some lunch, because it is lunchtime here in Texas, and I am ready to have some yummy. I made some chicken and rice soup that I'm going to eat for lunch today. So, all right. So any questions on anything else before I pop off of here? You guys let me know. This was today's tutorial that we did, and it was just a random one. It's not part of a series. These were our little Flower Girl series that we did. We did several of them. Let me get the rest of them so you guys can see them. Because I want you guys to see all of them, because they turned out so stinking cute. Let me find them. I think they're right here. What'd I do with them? We have more. I need to get all my stuff organized. Oh, here's the lavender. Isn't she cute? I love it. And here is the strawberry. So those were the Blossom Girls that we just finished up. And then we also recently did a set of summer creatures, which were really, really nice as well. So we did the crab, And we did this little crab. We also did, let's see, where's my other creatures? We did the seahorse. Bella, for me, thank you for the follow. We did the seahorse. We did the turtle. All of these can be found on my Tube of You for replay if you want the tutorials for these. Crab. Here is the dolphin. And here is the little octopi or octopus. Super cute. We also did a fruit series. Again, replays are available on my Tube of You for all of these. So if you want the tutorials, you can grab them. And just so you guys know, if I show you something on my live and you create the exact same design as I do and you share it and you tell people it is yours, I do not care. I'm not teaching on here to gatekeep or to say that is my design or that is my stuff. I do not care. You can exact copy my art all you want. And I believe there's enough room at the table for everybody. So just do it, share it, enjoy it. I do not care. And you know what? I will absolutely and completely share it out and embrace it as your art, because every piece of art is different and it does not matter if you do this very same design. It is not going to look like mine. It is going to look like your art and your style, and that's all I care about, is that you use the techniques to learn them. If I'm teaching it, it's because I want you to use it, all right? So that is my soapbox about that. Some people get very upset if they teach stuff, and then when you use their techniques or you use what they teach, they get very upset with you. That is not me. You can use it all you want. Here was our birdhouse we did. I think this was the last tutorial I did before I had to take that 3-week hiatus off. And it turned out super cute. I love it. It's a cute little spring summer watercolor. So, all right. Yes, I am a girl's girl, Casey, Texas, for sure. There is no doubt about that. I do not get, as a matter of fact, I have creators all the time that do my tutorials and share their art. And sometimes they tag me and sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm sharing it out because they're doing the tutorials and learning it and they're doing their art. And that's all I care about, is that everybody understands that you can learn how to do this. It's a skill set. It's not a talent. It is something that you can learn. You do not have to be born with talent to do watercolor. You can learn how to do it. I started last year in August, and so it's almost been a year, and that's it. So, Lego bears. I'm not sure what that means, but hey. All right, guys, so I am done from lunch. Thank you guys for following, for reposting, for sharing, for liking, for supporting my showcase and purchasing. All of the things, guys, I appreciate it so very much. You guys are awesome, and I love hanging out with you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow morning with another tutorial. Probably around 10 or 10:30 is when I'll log on. So just be looking for me if you want to paint with us. We will go through step by step and do something different tomorrow. And I want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, that I love you guys and I appreciate all your support. You too, Casey, Texas, have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you for the repost, by the way. And you guys have a great one. Cherish, thank you for the follow so much. I appreciate that. Aaron, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm just going back through here. Bella, for me, thank you for the follow. Cynthia, thank you for the follow. All of you guys, y'all are awesome. Love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow around 10:30. Bye. Oh, I will be on this afternoon. Sorry. I will be on this afternoon doing a product demonstration of the X-Tool M2 laser cutter. And it is so much fun, and we're going to do some really fun projects. So if you guys want to join me this afternoon, we'll hang out, chat, and do some fun projects on the laser, and absolutely pop in and say hello at least, even if it's just for a few moments. All right, we'll talk later. Bye.